Hi, I'm Brandy Fowler with the Atlanta Post, and today we're going to delve into the world of live mechanics with the founder of the brand, Osa Odiase. So tell me, how did the inspiration behind the brand get started?
Live mechanics, we coined the triple P philosophy, which revolves around the passion, the pain, and progress of all individuals. We coined it from the perspective of the difficulties that we face as human beings. You know, we have our own passions, and sometimes, you know, when you have your passion, in trying to achieve the progress, you have to go through some kind of pain, you know. And if you persevere and you endure, the progress comes through.
Now, based on that, how did you kind of come up with what type of clothing you would incorporate into the brand?
Well, you know, I personally have been involved in trend setting for quite a long time. We decided that there was a void in the marketplace, and we needed to find a way to kind of fill that void. So about 1999 to 2000, we started to bring in some contemporary looks into the urban market. The urban market wasn't very ready for it then, but we persevered. Again, you know, part of our passion and pain. We persevered, you know, brought in nice silhouettes, marketed, you know, the brand differently, but we meshed all this together and brought it into the mainstream.
You mentioned having some stints in the fashion industry. How did you get your start in the fashion industry?
It wasn't a very cool thing, you know, to be a fashion designer, you know, per se. You know, it was seen more like a dropout situation, like, oh, he gave it all and he couldn't do it, and now he's going to do fashion, you know. So it wasn't something that my own dad, that was an accountant, could phantom, that I, who was a young and up-and-coming kid, you know, was going to study fashion designing. So while I was in college, I took up sides on fashion design and stuff. You know, I was already making my own stuff. I was selling stuff on campus. I was doing different things, you know, and that was basically how my start started. You know, when I finished my bachelor's in economics, I can't give that to my dad. That, okay, fine, I'm done now, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do.
What was your first job in the fashion industry?
I have never worked for anyone. Yeah, I've never really worked for anyone before, you know, and that's it's a testimony, you know. Difficult too, because, you know, you only grow by mistakes. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm not totally encouraging that, you know, that's the best way to go, because for me, what happened was I started with T-shirts. I was in New York briefly, and I came out to Southern California, and I realized immediately that there was a weather preference here. You know, the weather was good, it was nice, and one thing that I saw that was peculiar to people was T-shirts. So I started to make T-shirts, again trying to create the void. I painted T-shirts, I printed them, I made a difference, I dyed them, because I knew everybody had silk screen. So I tried to create a whole difference with mine, and people caught on to it. I opened up a store. I actually opened the first street wear store on Melrose in Los Angeles many years ago. So that's basically how I started, you know, in the industry.
So what advice would you give to aspiring fashion designers?
Again, I think that, first of all, they have to create a niche, find out deep inside them what they see as the void in the marketplace. A lot of kids today, you know, they see their contemporaries or here and there and decide, oh, I just want to have a clothing line, and they don't have any formal education. You know, they don't have any formal education, and they haven't dabbled into that academic environment, and they just believe that because they wear some nice jeans and some nice shoes, they're stylish and they want to go forward from there. I think that's a mistake. I think the first thing that needs to be done is for you to acquire some kind of formal education, you know, something that can help you to compete. Once you have that, then you can begin to, and you know, this is not to say that, you know, it doesn't matter what education, what degree you have. You could go to school for fashion design and merchandising itself. You could go and study communication, you know, but if you understand that, I recognize that you have a skill, that skill itself is not enough. You need to attach, you need to expand that skill in such a way that you can compete in the economic sphere that we're in today.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us today and sharing your inspiring story with the Atlanta Post. Once again, I'm Brandy Fowler with the Atlanta Post, and this is Osa Odiase. the founder of Live Mechanics. Make sure you take a look at our website for more interviews with impressive entrepreneurs like Mr. Odiase.